You sure?
I'm gonna shut down, yeah.
So we're on.
You're on.
Okay. Sorry about that, y'all. Yeah, we're on there now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. We're gonna get class rolling. Everybody share the link. We'll wait till everybody start pilling in here. And we'll go through our little announcements for the new people. Yeah, grab that cord. The cord he uses for the Facebook.
For Facebook? Where's it?
Never mind. So we're gonna go ahead and get class rolling. We're gonna start out with letting everybody know and reminding everybody online where we have classes. We have classes in a few different areas. They're right up there on the screen. If you brothers and sisters have any questions, or if you want to get a hold of us, you can also hit us up, email, or call us. Of course, during class, you can just text. So please, reminder, during class, text, or you can go on YouTube and comment that way also. All right. We also have Mashaba's Blog Talk Radio, and that's blogtalkradio.com/Mashaba. All right, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Check out San Antonio class 2, support them. Kawakab does some good classes on there. It's not for the weary heart, all right? It's not for the weary, but you're going to definitely get some good knowledge, edification. So you'll see Kawakab on there, Awar, Sham Shawan, brothers teaching really good classes on there also. So support them. Support them. That's San Antonio. Like I said, it's not for the weary. What else we got? Check out our other channels on there also. We got our other little channels that we try to get out. We try to get out the different things we're doing. So, like you see here, we got the Hidden Truth Bible Show. That kind of touches on, different topics. We got the Israelite Media Court. I think we do news on there. And then we got 5 minutes of wisdom. And we're going to definitely get back on these things also. So look out for that. All right. Please support those. You can go on, like, share, subscribe to those, share them with brothers and sisters that got questions. All right. What else we got here? We have, if you want to join the Hebrew Academy, you can do that. Oh, Israel Wear, right? Israel Wear is back up and rolling if you want to get garments done. All right. These sisters really get down on the garments. Really good quality. If you want to be a part of that, you want to get your fringes up, you can do that. You can sign up for a subscription on Israel Wear and get you shirts. Let me say this on the shirts. If y'all got an idea that you want done, hit us up. We will also do those ideas you got. Okay? If you want a style, we do that also. So check that out. Support that. All right? And if you want to make a donation and keep helping out the school, we appreciate that. And for the brothers and sisters that do every month, we appreciate that y'all help out. We have the Feast of Weeks Pentecost coming up on May 15th. On May 15th, Pentecost is coming up. All right? So look out for that. High Holy Day. All right? And I think I already said, did I say Hebrew Academy? Hebrew Academy. If y'all want to join the Hebrew Academy, you can do it online. If you're out of town, if you're in town, we require you to come in and do Hebrew Academy. So, all right. So we'll start out with questions. Does anybody got any questions online? We got a few brothers and sisters that are new that are supposed to be coming through having questions. So tonight is actually a question class if nobody has any questions. Y'all, we're going to get those questions that, y'all might have heard before, but we got to answer them. We got a lot of new brothers that want those questions answered. All right. So does anybody got anything online right now? None? Okay. I'm going to give you all a few minutes. See if anybody got anything. And if not, once again, this is coming from a brother that had a question about temptation and dealing with different temptations and how to overcome them. So we're going to touch on that. Nobody has any other questions? Sisters? Yeah.
Someone's asking if there will be Sabbath class on May 15th.
May 15th.
Because of the feast.
May 15th. Mm-hmm. It's a Saturday. Right? Yeah, it's a Saturday. We definitely have a class because that's in the morning. So the feast, we usually do the feast later on in the day. So we definitely will be having Sabbath class. All right. Yes, sir. Was that it?
So far.
All right. So just trying to give y'all a little second. Y'all see they found this dude guilty, right? Y'all know that's a trick, right? They just want to sway the masses, calm you down. Now here's the question: you think he's gonna get full time?
PC.
PC, what's that?
Protective custody.
Oh.
And then because of good behavior, they're gonna let him out. Ask for that.
Wow. So you think he's gonna do the minimum?
He'll do like 5. And then he'll get
Nah, I think it's like 15 years minimum.
Is it? For
it was like, from what I was looking at, 15 years or 40 years is max.
Okay. 40.
Yeah. Damn, so that's what you get nowadays, 40 years for murdering somebody?
Well, Judah be there for life.
Yeah. That's how they do Esau, not our people. Anything on there?
No, just commenting on what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah, so they let this guy, they gonna put him, he was acting like it wasn't gonna happen. You see his face?
Wow.
Yeah, he was acting like, okay. Yeah.
They not gonna put
Like, I'm finna get out anyway.
They're not gonna put him in the general population. Cause they'll kill him.
We'll see. Probably. Alright, I'm just rapping with y'all to see if anybody got any questions. Since nobody got any questions, let us go into tonight's class. Once again, this class comes from a question. We supposedly have some new people coming tonight, so if they have any questions, we're probably gonna go over class a little bit for them. Temptations. This is a battle and a fight that a lot of brothers, sisters, first coming into the truth, don't know how to face. They don't know how to deal with them. Question. Okay, question. Let's go there.
How do we come to the conclusion that Yahweh Shai and Adam are the same person?
Who said that?
Dorothy Branch.
Yeah, we haven't gone into nothing like that. I don't know where she's getting that from. I have not taught no class online about that. So, yeah, we have not touched on anything like that. You sure you got that from us? Did a brother teach that class that I don't know about? Huh? I haven't heard that class. So Dorothy, where'd you get that class from? Was it from us? Let's see what her response is real quick. Yeah. Sis, give us a response real quick so we can move on, because I haven't. Who taught that class? That Adam was Christ. Like, bring him hither. Who did that? Did she say anything yet?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, if she responds, was that it on that? The questions?
She said she's driving. Shield of Wisdom is saying, do you mean reincarnation? But I guess we haven't read she answered.
She said, shield of wisdom, what?
No. Shield of Wisdom, I don't know who that is.
Uh-huh.
Is asking if she's talking about reincarnation.
Listen, sis, we haven't went into that class, so we haven't touched on nothing like that. So I don't know where you heard that from. All right. So if that's it on the questions, I'm gonna give y'all a few more seconds for this feed to get to you. We're gonna go right into class.
I have heard implied mention that Yahweh Shai was the same spirit as Adam, Solomon, and Sarah.
Oh yeah, we haven't taught nothing like that in class. So you probably heard it online, but we haven't went over that. We teach reincarnation, but as far as going into that, we're not touching on that. You know what I mean? We're not dealing with that subject. So that's that. What else? That was it?
She said, okay.
All right. So back to the question that the brother had. What's the military brother's name? Huh? Jaquan? The brother Jaquan had. He's the youngest old person I know. Like he's like me. You can't. You're 20. How old are you? Like 15, and you got a 40-year-old memory. I'm like, I can't ask this guy. I gotta ask. Let me ask a real young person, right? Like you got a worse memory as me, bro. Temptation, man. Let's go into that. This is one of the topics, man, that a lot of Israelite brothers and sisters, I think it throws them off the truth, out of the truth, because they don't know how to deal with different temptations. The temptations of the world, you fell into them. The lust of the world, you fell into them. The lust of the flesh, you just gave into them. You didn't really fight them. So when it comes to this question of temptation, I think the first point we want to talk about is let's go to Ecclesiasticus 2 verse 1. Because a lot of people don't know that it's our fight. That literally is your battle. Like, a lot of people come to the truth oblivious to what they're going to go over and deal with, what they're going to battle. So it kind of shocks them. It shocks a lot of brothers and sisters, dealing with certain things, right? So I want you to get the definition of temptation real quick, and let's go to Ecclesiastes 2 verse 1.
Ecclesiasticus 2 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Right, and a lot of people don't prepare themselves. I'll say majority of people don't prepare themselves because it's really, they don't see the necessity. Like, what am I going to be tempted of? A lot of the temptations are things that you already deal with daily and you give into. So when you hear this in the truth, really it just goes over a lot of people's head. You know? When we talk about these subjects in class, it'd be like, yeah, well, you know, this class really ain't for me because I'm not tempted by nothing. That's what a lot of people say. Because they don't realize that they're giving into a lot of those temptations. So what do you got for temptation?
Temptation, a strong urge or desire to have or do something.
Right, you see that? So this strong urge is going to be consistent to draw you away and take you from the gospel, take you from the Most High. And it's your strong urge. It's your strong desire. Right? So hold that real quick. Go to James. Go to James real quick. And I know we've touched on some of these scriptures, man, a lot. But we're going to talk about it on a different level. James 1 and
13.
Yeah, read that.
James chapter 1 verse 13. Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of the Most High.
And we're going to find out these temptations are not from the Most High. Right? Go ahead.
For the Most High cannot be tempted with evil.
Right. So when you got in your vocabulary, the Most High sent her and she's pulling you away from the truth, then you don't understand that the Most High didn't send her. When you got like, well, the Most High blessed me with it, but it's pulling you away from the Most High, then you don't realize that the Most High didn't send you that. The Most High, he doesn't tempt with evil. So that logic is you putting that on the Most High. Oh, it was a blessing. She was a blessing. The Most High said, when he put together, let no man put asunder, but he didn't put it together. Your lust put it together. Right? Your desire put it together. So you can chuck that one out of the brain. You know what I mean? Like Hannibal Lecter. You can take the little thing and cut it out. Because that is not, according to the Bible, that's your ill logic. That's your ill thinking. That's the way you want to make it sound in your head so you can what? Ride. Ride on your lusts. Right? Go ahead.
Neither tempted he in man.
Go ahead.
But every man is tempted when he is drawn away.
And that's what we're going to get into. That a lot of this is you're drawn. You're drawn away. It ain't got nothing to do with the Most High. The Most High set things for the righteous. Satan comes, man, and sets things for the wicked to divert you and take you off the goal and the mission. So this is what the Bible says. Y'all, Israel got to come out of that mind, man. And stop telling yourself the lies. You're just battling the gospel. You're battling the Most High. Read that part again.
But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust.
So temptation says what? What's the definition?
A strong urge or desire to have or do something.
See, that's your strong urge. That's your strong desire. You know what I mean? You know how many times we told brothers, man, listen, don't go up there and hit it. Don't fall into it. Oh man, I slipped and fell. She's my rib now. That's your fault. You know what I mean? It's your lust that drawed you into that. And then now you got what? For men and women, you got what? Multiple personality disorder. Right? Who am I? Legion. There be many. Right? Now you got to deal with those demons on this individual. Because you didn't think about it. You're drawn away by your lust. So that's the temptations. These are the things that's set before us. And there's going to be many temptations. Because what's the point? What's the point with these temptations? What? Satan is constantly going to the Most High and saying, look, this person don't believe. His lust is stronger, right? To prove you, right? Because that's going to happen in the dynamic, right? Satan goes to the Most High, like he did Job, and say, look, this man, this woman ain't honorable. They fake, they phony, right? But what is that to do? Why is Satan doing that? Why is the lust coming? The temptations coming? Why?
To pull you away.
To pull you away. It says drawn. You're drawn away. That's the whole point of this, to draw you away. It's to draw you away from the true desire. And that's what a lot of brothers and sisters don't realize coming in. They don't realize that coming in the truth. So where are we at again for everybody that just came in?
James chapter 1 and verse 14.
Right, we're at James 1 and 14 by the way of Ecclesiasticus, the 2nd chapter, right? Okay, so read that Ecclesiasticus 2nd chapter.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 2 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
My son, if thou come to serve the Lord.
See, and that's the thing. Why is this hitting you now? Why all of a sudden all these different temptations are now coming and hitting you? Because now you got a different goal. You're serving the Most High. So all the things are going to be amplified out there in the world to hit you, to pull at you. All of a sudden, every woman's going to want to talk to you if you're a man. All of a sudden, every brother is going to want to get your attention. Right? All of a sudden, every job is going to want to do what? Hire you. Right? Every temptation is going to come. Right? To do what?
Draw you away.
To draw you away. What else you got on the definition?
Temptation is a desire to engage in short-term urges for enjoyment.
You see that? Short-term urges. Right? You want to get that pleasure for the moment, but then you realize, I never really wanted to be a rib. It's too late. I never really wanted to be her husband. It's too late. You done digged in and you messed up. You got in deep. And now you got to deal with the consequences. And that's what Satan's job is to do. And when we come to serve the Lord, that should be the first thing on our mind. But you don't. People come in, they hear the class, they're like, oh yeah, oh man, it's going to get hard out here, right? They go about their own life, and then all these things, pow, 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 pow. And then they're like, what is going on here? Ever since I've been going to that school, it's like all of a sudden, my whole life is drama because you didn't prepare yourself. What else? You got something else on that? Go ahead.
A desire to engage in short-term urges for enjoyment that threatens long-term goals.
You see that? And the long-term goal is the kingdom. And Satan is putting that theme there, the booby prizes, to destroy your long-term goal, to get you off the path. So let's finish up James real quick.
James chapter 1 and verse 14.
You get Ecclesiastes 2. Go ahead.
But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust.
So remember, let's get it right. If these things draw you away, you're going to find out it's you. All right? We're going to go back there. I don't want to go deep into that because first point I want to establish is this. You got to understand that this is meant to happen. So before we add that, James, I want to reiterate Ecclesiasticus 2. This was a good question, huh? But you got to see that it's going to happen. It ain't going to stop. Satan is going to constantly be coming at you to tempt you and to pull you away and draw you away, right? We'll get back to James, because James is going to go into a little bit deeper, right? But read that, where we're at. Ecclesiastes 2.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 2 and verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord,
right,
prepare thy soul for temptation.
And most of the times, a lot of people don't come to serve the Lord. You come to what? Get class. And you're thinking, I just come to get class. Well, this ain't all, you know what I mean? I ain't coming for all that seriousness. But it don't work like that. No, you come in and the Most High is going to make you accountable, and Satan is going to make you accountable. That's how it works. So you got to prepare your soul for temptation. You got to get ready for what's going to happen in your life. The turmoil, the battles that is going to hit you. Go ahead.
Set thy heart aright.
So you got to set your mind aright. A lot of people don't set their mind in that way. I got to be here. I got to really get ready to serve the Most High. I gotta figure out, like you've been coming with the questions, like, how do I do this the right way? You know what I mean? If I'm coming to do this job, see, you're going about it strategically and you want to find the method. Most people don't do that. They come in, they're just like, I just came to class, hear that Christ is black, and then cool. I thought that was going to be it. But you're doing it the right way. You're coming and saying, okay, if I'm going to do this, let me learn the proper way to do it. More brothers and sisters should be asking this question. Because then they'll see what the gospel is saying. It's telling you what? Get your mind prepared. Right? Like when you joined the military, what happened? You couldn't go in there. You knew you was going to get yelled at. It wasn't to be like, what? This is what trips me about a military cat. They go to war, and then they come back with PTSD, anxiety, and it's like, wait a minute, you didn't know what you was joining in the beginning? Like, eventually you're going to have to kill somebody if called to, right? Yeah. So you got to set your mind aright to know that this is what I'm called for. I might have to murk somebody out there. You know what I mean? I might have to be called to be they might call you in the country. Then what? What you going to be like, no, I ain't? That's what you've been called for. So you got to know what you're dealing with and bring it back to the knowledge. A lot of brothers and sisters don't prepare themselves. And it's sad. Because as we're trying to walk them through it, they're like, nah, this shouldn't be happening. Nah, y'all just don't understand. Nah, why is all these things happening? And we're trying to walk them through it and say, okay, look, the gospel said it, right? Finish that up. Go ahead.
Set thy heart aright.
Right.
And constantly endure.
Right. So you got to constantly endure. And that's what is going to be the key. Constantly enduring. We're not going to go on. Go to 1 Peter 5 and 8. We got to constantly endure. So what I want to focus in on is setting your heart aright. Setting your mind aright. Why? 1 Peter 5 and 8 tells us what?
1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8. Be sober.
Be what?
Be sober.
See? The awareness is not there. So the Bible already told you when you come to serve the Lord, prepare your soul for temptation. But brothers and sisters ain't sober-minded. You walking around like this is a game. You have opened up Pandora's box and you finna unleash a holy ass whooping on yourself. Right? The things you're going to deal with is finna come at you like out of nowhere. Especially if you're sincere. Especially if you are in your heart, you're for real about it. It's going to hit you head on. Why? Because Satan's job is to throw you off. Right? So you got to be what?
Sober.
We got to be aware. Clear-minded. When it talks about sober, yes, it's speaking of liquor and things of that, but it's talking about sober-minded, clearness. A lot of people don't come with the clarity. So your question is how to deal with temptations, how to overcome these things. You got to know that you're already in the battle. As soon as you open up the book and you actually start studying and reading and coming to class, you are now accountable, and Satan is going to make sure of that. Right? Go ahead.
Be vigilant.
Be what?
Vigilant.
So, vigilant. Give me the definition, Chaazaqya. Give me the definition of vigilance. So, these are the things that are going to prepare you. You got to be sober-minded. You got to understand what you're finna deal with when coming to the knowledge. Be what?
Vigilant.
Be vigilant. Go ahead.
Watchful.
What? Be what?
Watchful.
Yeah. You got to understand things, why things are coming. You got to ask yourself more questions now. Coming to the knowledge, you got to say, well, why is that? Is this here to draw me away? Right? Because you have brothers, they be so diligent when they come in. Studying, writing down, and you know what I mean? And then next you know, a few weeks later, it's like, yeah, what happened to the brother? What happened to the sister? Because they weren't vigilant. They weren't aware. They let somebody else's weakness diminish their zeal. And I can tell you like this, lasting 30 years in the truth, I don't care who the hell it is. I don't let them diminish my zeal for the Most High. You see that? All the weakness, all the playing games, the faking the Israelite, you gotta see how people are. And they're like that in everything, right? Yeah, a lot people are like that in everything, bro. You go to certain jobs, they're the same way. Right? They just there, man, I'm not here. I'm not serious at this. Right? The military. We put over a lot of military cats in the mall, young cats. They're like, man, I'm just doing it for the money. Right? They ain't serious. But there's some cats that's go ahead, gun ho, you know, let's save the country. You know what I mean? I'll die for this. And that's how we got to be for the gospel. So be vigilant. Where are we at again for the sister that came in?
1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8.
Right. So read on the definition of vigilance. Go ahead.
Watchful.
Right.
Alert.
Alert. Go ahead.
Being on the lookout, especially for danger or opportunity.
Yeah, and that's how you are when dealing in this world, in this life. We got to be vigilant and aware and alert for Satan. Go ahead.
That was it on me.
Go ahead and read on in the scriptures. Back in 1 Peter 5 and 8.
Be sober. Be vigilant.
Right.
Because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion,
right,
walketh about, seeking whom he may devour.
So your question about temptation is showing us that if you're not aware that it's going to happen, you're asleep, you lost the battle. You lost the battle coming in, and that's where a lot of brothers and sisters lose the battle. The first step coming in the door, they treat it like Christianity. Oh, I'm coming over here to play around with the Bible. Or I'm coming over here to fake again. Like, ain't you damn done with faking? Ain't you done with that? Isn't that why you left the Christian church? Right? You left it, we talk about it, but why are you still doing it? Because people come in here with the same mentality. And that's what you don't understand. But remember, they're going to come. They're supposed to. They're sick. But we got to start destroying that out. Pointing that out. You know what I mean? Nah, that's wrong. And they don't like us for it. You don't like me. Well, you don't like me, brother. Why? Because how y'all correct me. The brother said that the other day to a brother. Oh, brothers corrected me too much. It's like, that's what you came here for. You came here to be corrected, changed. Oh, you want us to do like the Christian church. Let you do wickedness and just be around. And then we just roll with it. No, you got to be corrected. Your adversary, the devil, is trying to constantly take advantage of you through different temptations, right? Go to Matthew 4 and 2. Matthew 4 verse 2. So, as a Hebrew Israelite, as coming into the gospel and learning the truth, we have to understand that coming in the door, Satan has already got you on the beam. He wants to snipe you out. So you got to see that temptations are going to come in various manners to draw you away from the gospel. Right? So read that, Matthew 4 and 2.
Matthew chapter 4 and verse 2.
And
when he had fasted 40 days.
And usually, when is Satan on you? when you want to get clean. You want to get clean, that's what Satan's watching you. Oh, we got another cat trying to be righteous, right? What did he do to Job? Oh, you consider Job? Look at him. Nah, he's not so right like you think. And that's what you're doing. You trying to come in, you put away the dope, the weed, the drinking, the sex with everybody, and you're like, okay, I really want to be real and pleasing the Most High. The world is damn ending, right? I want to get right. And that's when Satan comes. He's watching you with his tongue out, thirsty, right? Read it again.
Matthew chapter 4, verse 2. And when he had fasted 40 days,
right,
and 40 nights,
right,
he was afterward and hungry.
Right. And we know this is the time where Christ, he fasted physically. But remember, what you're doing, you start fasting from the flesh. You start putting away these things. Right? So this is when you get more, your senses are going to get more keen. They should be getting more keen, more on point. That's why you got to study. You got to stay in the book to be ready for these temptations and to know what is good and what is evil. Because if not, you're not going to know how to deal with them. Every blessing ain't good, or everything that you think is a blessing is not good. Everything that comes is not good. But we're so thirsty and we want every damn thing, so we think, oh, this is good, that's good, that's good. It ain't always good. So Yahushua was hungered. Go ahead.
And when the tempter came to him.
Right. His name is the tempter. That's another name for the devil. The tempter. Because what is his job to do? Tempt you. What is his job here to do? He's here to tempt you. Tempt you. Pull you away. Draw you away. We read the definition. It's drawing you away. I want you to read that definition again. Grab that from him. Read on.
And when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the Son of the Most High,
right,
command that these stones be made bread.
Now check this out. What few things we're going to learn from this situation with Christ. What's the first thing Satan knows? What does Satan know also? What? You got to stand up, talk loud, please.
Satan knows that his time is short, so he's trying to deceive everybody while he can.
Yeah, you jumped way ahead in my scriptures, but no, let's start with the basics. What does Satan know? What?
He knows that he's Christ.
You're right. He knows that he's Christ. Satan knows you. Both of you were right. Right? You just, I'm saying we're going down that road to get there. The first thing Satan knows is what? What?
Our weaknesses?
Yes. But before that, what does he know as well?
The scriptures.
He knows the Bible. So Satan knows the Bible. Now, check this out. You come in and you don't know the Bible. Right? You don't know the Bible. Yeah, you know God loves everybody. God so loved the world, because that's what Christianity taught you, right? That's what you know, right? But did you know what really you're accountable for coming into the knowledge? No. A lot of times, you don't know how much you're accountable for what you're finna deal with. When you didn't know, he said he winked at you in your ignorance. But when you do know, now he makes you accountable for what you know. So Satan knows that. He knows the Bible. So what is his job to do? Play on what you do and what you don't know. So what did he tell Eve? He told Eve, yeah, you can eat of the trees of the garden. Why? Because Satan plays on wordplay to get you to do what? To go back and divert to the flesh. It's simple. I want to show y'all something. It always leads you back to the flesh. A brother in the gospel is going to lead you away from that. Every time, to make it easy on you, it's always something to pull you back to the flesh. And for some reason, there's a thought about it. Like, but that's leading you back to the flesh, brother. We're trying to lead you away from the flesh and fleshly desires and fleshly things. Why is there a thought about this? Because how it's given and how things come, you figure, well, I want this, and you're pulling me away from it, but not knowing this carnal thing is fleshly, and it's always Satan's going to use the things to pull you back. And that's what people don't understand about these temptations. And it mind boggles me why our brothers and sisters don't see that. Is it pulling you into the spirit? Shouldn't that be the question at the end of the day? Is what this brother telling me is pulling me into the spirit or pushing me to the flesh? Satan pulls me to the flesh. The Most High pulls you to the spirit. So, Satan knows the Bible. He knows the gospel. He knows how to use it. And that's what we're going to find out here. Go ahead.
Matthew chapter 4, verse 4.
Go ahead.
But he answered and said, it is written.
Right, so what is our job? Learning from our big brother, we supposed to be ready in war ready to use the gospel. But if you don't know, then what? Then what do you do? Right? Because hold that. Somebody give me 2 Timothy 2 verse 15. Real quick. Go to 2 Timothy 2:15.
2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 15.
Go ahead.
Study to show thyself approved.
Right, but what happens when you're not studying? You see that? And you don't got? You ain't in the book. You just know what grandma told you, mama told you. You don't really study. Not like you're supposed to be. You read a few chapters, but you ain't in here like this. Your life depended on it. And that's how we're in here. We're in here like our life depends on it, because it does. It does. More than your job, more than any woman, any child, anything. Your soul depends on it. So we had to be studied up, because Satan knows the Bible. That's the first thing he did with Christ. As it is written, right? Yahweh Shai had to come back and tell him and remind him that you can't play with my mind. Go ahead.
Study to show thyself approved unto the Most High, a workman that needed not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth.
So where does the ashamed part come in? Who knows? Why it says that needed not be ashamed? Where does the ashamed part? Yeah.
When you don't study.
Right? Where does the shame part come in? Why?
When you're not able to use the word to fight against the temptation.
There you go. When you're not armored up to fight. Like your logic, most of brothers and sisters' logic is coming from where? What they have accessible in their mind, their wisdom. Right? That's where you're drawing from. You do what you know. So if you ain't studied up, Satan got the advantage there. And this is why a lot of temptations overcome brothers and sisters. This is why they lose their battle. Because they're not studied. They don't read. They're not in the book. So, you getting this, right, Art? Where are we at?
Matthew chapter 4.
Finish 2 Timothy's. Go ahead.
Rightly dividing the word of truth.
Right.
Verse 16.
Right. Rightly dividing the word of truth. So we got to correctly be able to go through this gospel and heal our sicknesses, deal with our mental diseases, be able to soberly deal with our issues. And one of the biggest problems with the blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans is what? Hosea 4:6 says what?
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Yeah. You see that? So we don't got the knowledge. So what are we finding out? First step. First step in these first scriptures, what?
Finding out that when you come to serve the Most High, that you're going to be tempted.
You're going to be tempted, right? Then we're finding out what? What?
We have to continue to constantly study and keep our mind in the book.
Or else what?
Or else you'll be tempted by Satan.
Right? Or else what? You be overcome. That's the thing. You got to have the armor. You got to have the ammo to go against Satan. So that's like the end. All right, let's pack up class and leave, right? Because really, that's why brothers and sisters always lose. They come with that deer in the headlight face. I mean, I didn't know it was going to be all that. It's too real, right? This is falling. This is happening. This is happening. It's like, what the hell is going on in my life? You came playing. It's not a game. Y'all get that? Right. So go from there. Read down. Read down to Matthew 4.
Matthew chapter 4, verse 4.
Go ahead.
But he answered and said,
right?
It is written,
right?
Man shall not live by bread alone.
Right. And what is Satan always using to pull you? And we're going to get into that in the second part, but I want y'all to answer it now. What is Satan always using to pull you? You hungry, let your belly control you. You're hungry. You need this. Yeah, man, I'm lonely, man. It's been 6 months. I need a woman. Brothers is telling me, man, let the Most High. That's how they do. Brothers is telling me, let the Most High bring me one, right? It's like the gospel ain't telling you what. He will give you a good woman, right? He'll give a righteous man a good woman. That's what him said. The brothers is telling me, well, he got women. Look at him. He's good. But you telling me to pause, right? And it's not the gospel no more. It's you, what that brother's telling me. This is where brothers fail, sisters fail. No matter how many scriptures we pull, it's like, brother, you're telling me that. You see that? That's where you're going to fail if you don't see Satan's devices. He's going to touch your belly and make you feel hungry. And Yahweh Shai knew. No, we don't. Everything, I'm not going to move off of just my emotions and what my body is telling me. You know what I mean? I'm not going to move off of what my fangs coming out. Because that flesh, bro, that flesh will pull on you. All your desires, your lusts, your wants, everything it comes. I did a fast on the Sabbath, and after we went to go eat up the block, all the brothers and sisters, and she took 2 hours to get there. So you know how after a fast you're like, okay, I'm gonna get ready to eat. It took it was about what, hour and 45?
Yeah, bro, it was 2 hours before we finally got our food.
Because we went to a little Asian spot that we know we like, but it's only 2 of them in there. And 2 hours. And you know what that did to me the whole time? I was sitting there just praying in my head. I was like, man, is this happening right now? I'm like hungry. But that's what the flesh is. So garbage. We're garbage. It's like the food pulls on you. Your desires pull on you. You know what I mean? Go to the bathroom, yeah? Go eat this. Okay. Put this in your mouth. All right. Yeah, I mean, you just give to the body. And that's what we got to learn how to control. Yahweh Shai fasting, he knew that. So he was gaining control. And even in that moment, you couldn't get through that. It was like, I'm fasting 40 days. Obviously, food doesn't have a bearing on me. Yahweh Shai was able to stand against that. He was sober-minded. He was vigilant. But most of us don't. We don't come with that mind. We don't come with Satan's finna hit me when I walk out the door. Right? And that's where you're going to lose at. Go ahead, read on.
Man should not live by bread alone.
Right?
But by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of the Most High.
That sounds like religion. Because when we tell brothers and sisters that, they were like, come on, that sounds good, but listen, it's like, what are you talking about? Do you believe it or not? Do you believe that or not? Do you believe that every word of the Most High will feed you? Feed you physically, mentally, and spiritually. That if we follow the gospel, we're not going to have to kill ourselves, sell our souls, sell our buttholes, bend over, whatever wicked thing that has to be done for money. That if you lock into the spirit, these things will supply. The Most High supply the want. A lot of people don't believe that. They think, no, I got to get 5 jobs. I hear that I hear y'all. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay, you know what I mean? But I'm working all those days. They spirit don't mean a lot to them. Because that's how the white man taught them. The white man taught them what? The American dream. Push for that. Fight for that. You see that? So this is what temptation is literally right there answering your question. He's going to tempt us with these things. Read.
Then the devil taketh him up into the holy city.
Right. Yeah, the devil will take you into the depths, right? He'll take you into the depths and outer space. What happened? I had a dream, I had a dream. Yeah, cats came to us with all that. I had a dream, man. The Most High. See, this is the way I need to go, Yeah, but the scriptures tell you if an angel come to you, you weren't supposed to listen, but you listened to a dream. It said dreams lift up fools. Why you didn't listen to the gospel? A multitude of counsel their safety. Because you want what is in your heart. That's what this is all about. It's a battle of your desire as opposed to what the Most High wants.
And that's what that lust is too. It's an overwhelming desire.
Yeah.
To have.
Yeah.
You want that. It's like that. I call it the microwave generation. You want that instant gratification.
Raj, read it again. Read the definition again, because that was a good definition.
Temptation. The desire to do something, especially something wrong or unwise.
Right. That's cool. That's how you know, but that's what you come to serve the Lord. That's all that hits you daily. A desire to do something unwise with no wisdom, the Holy Spirit not guiding you in your thoughts. You know what I mean? If it's anger, punch him in the face. Choke her out. You know what I mean? Beat him up. If it's pride, nobody can tell me none. You constantly move by the desire to do stupidity. That's what temptations are. Go ahead.
That was it on that.
Right. That's a good one. So this is what temptation is, man. Go ahead and finish Matthews. Go ahead.
Matthew chapter 4 and verse 5. Then the devil taketh him up into the holy city.
Right.
And set him on a pinnacle of the temple. And said unto him, If thou be the Son of the Most High, cast thyself down.
Right.
For it is written, He shall give his angels charge concerning you.
So what is he doing here? What is he doing here? What is Satan doing with the Bible? What?
He's trying to use the scriptures against him.
Right. So he's manipulating the Bible. But to lead you where?
Death.
To death. That's the theme. Where are you being led? Well, y'all manipulating the Bible. Yes. To lead you to life.
I got a definition.
You have never been told, hey, man, yeah, brother, get you 7 women, brother. No. We told you, leave them alone. Oh, hey, listen, you got to get paper, You got to get this money. You know what I mean? Let's get this money, You know how they come to the school all the time? They see so many brothers and they want to do what? They want to come with the business ideas. Right? We don't be like, you know what? Yeah, man, let's get this paper. No, we like, nah, paper secondary. Spirit got to be first. I don't understand. We pushing you to the spirit, but it's like, nah, the flesh sounds a little bit more enticing. And that's what gets upsetting. You want to be pushed towards the flesh. And because we're constantly like, nah, that's wrong. Don't do that. That's off. It's like, man, y'all, it's too much control over here. Because you want to be drawn away by your lust and you want us to be a part of that. That's not going to happen. Go ahead.
And in their hands they shall bear thee up.
Right. So he's manipulating the Bible for you to do something stupid. And for you to fall into the flesh. And you ultimately to destroy yourself. That's Satan's job. Was you going to say something?
No, I was going to say I had a precept on what you were just saying.
Yeah, hold that. Is it in Revelations?
No, Isaiah.
Okay, go ahead. Where is it at?
The book of Isaiah, chapter 28, verse 13.
Go ahead.
But the word of the Lord was upon them, precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little, there a little, that they might go and fall backward and be broken and snared and taken.
Yeah, and that's man, that right there is one that a lot of people don't understand what the Bible is here to do. The Bible is here to reveal what side are you on. The same thing, you know why I like that verse? Because the same thing he said that was going to be a strength and salvation to us, he said it would be something that would break everybody else. You see that? So, once again, I'll say it again. Good scripture. When you open up the Bible, it's like opening up that Pandora's box. Now you're accountable for what you hear and what you know to follow. Right? Before you weren't, because pastors as well open up one scripture, they dance around that scripture, right? But now you're getting scripture after scripture after scripture after scripture after scripture, and now you know what you're accountable for. So the games, you're only playing games with yourself, and that's why their lives end up what? Imploding. People leave the truth worse than they came in. Why? Because they thought it was a game. They thought I was going to come and play around with it, and their mind get twisted worse because they're like, you know what? I'm going to ignore everything I was taught. But what you were taught was the knowledge. What you were taught was to get right. What you were taught was to change. Right? Go ahead. Where you at?
Matthew chapter 4 verse 6. For it is written, he shall give his angels charge concerning thee.
Right.
And in their hands they shall bear thee up.
Right.
Lest at any time thou dash thy foot against a stone.
Read.
Yahweh said unto him, it is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy power.
Right. So once again, we have to have the gospel to know, to rightly divide the word of the Most High and know what precepts to go dealing with our issue. The Most High deals with anxiety. If you got it, you ain't in the spirit. If you got anxiousness that controls you so much that you can't function, there's a spiritual and a mental gap. If you got lust, uncontrollable lust, the spirit can deal with that. But why don't you got that power or control to do that? Because you're not willing to apply the gospel. There's something always blocking you. Right? Anger, doubt, jealousy. It works, but you got to humble yourself to it. Because the method is usually what? You want to do it this way, and the gospel is constantly telling you to do it the other way. It's that simple. It's that simple. Punch him in the face. Nah, don't render evil for evil. Anger rests in the bosom of fools. Right? The Most High hates a wrathful person. Right? You can do what the gospel says or what you feel. It's that simple. Right? Go to Ephesians 6 verse 12. Let's get through a few of these. Ephesians 6 and 12. So y'all see, I wanted to take y'all there. You can read down on that. But I got so many scriptures. We go through the whole point of Yahweh Shai being brought up. I think we get the point that Satan's job is to tempt. Ecclesiasticus 2 said, come and prepare your soul for temptation. He's here to do that. Read that, Ephesians 6 and 12.
Ephesians 6 and verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood.
So what we're seeing is that you're not no longer have to look at it as you're fighting people or dealing with people. You're dealing with demons. You're dealing with Satan's goal to destroy you, to take you away. That's the whole point of this, to draw you away. You're awake, you're enlightened, you believe. Well, his job is to deter you from that mind. So we're not wrestling against flesh and blood. Go ahead.
But against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world.
Yeah, because it goes beyond. This spirit is in people around us. And their job is to try to dilute and diminish our goals in the spirit. So I'm going to say it again. Sitting here in these chairs, you got to watch it. Because there's somebody among you that don't believe that. They're doubtful. They're double-minded. They're unsure. They're still locked into the flesh. They still want to drink. They still want to go pop from women to women. They still want to do it their way, right? And you know what they're going to do? They're going to get your phone number. And what they're going to do? They're going to tell you weakness to diminish your zeal. That's why the scriptures say covet the best gifts. You're going to know the strength when you hear that brother talking about the gospel and the scriptures. As far as the weak ones among you, don't pay no attention to that. Remember, they're still sick. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Against spiritual wickedness in high places.
Yeah, there's a lot of spiritual wickedness. That's not a, what's the word? A conspiracy theory scripture. That's not a conspiracy theory, what we're reading here. That's what the gospel says. The gospel tells us that there's spiritual wickedness in high places, and that's what it is. Now, do you believe that? And if you don't, then you're going to be walking around like a fool. Right? So we're not wrestling against flesh and blood, man. The demons that people got on them is to draw you away. It's to pull you away. The entertaining, they might smile in your face. They might be friendly. But are they going to lead you to the gospel? Are they telling you the right thing? Are you here for the right thing? Do you want to hear the gospel? Do you want to hear the truth? Or every step of the way is your feelings going to get hurt? You see that? So you got to know what mold you in. A lot of people still don't know what they're really here for. Right? Their true intentions ain't really here to serve the Most High. So you got to watch out for that, man. Go to Matthew 12, verse 43. So this first point, I wanted to show you that it's already written that when you come to serve the Lord, the tempter is going to tempt you. Okay? Read that. Matthew 12, 43 to 45.
Matthew chapter 12 and verse 43.
Go ahead.
When the unclean spirit is gone out of a man,
go ahead.
He walking through dry places, seeking rest.
So, what happens when you come into the book? You start opening it up. The unclean spirits are leaving you. Those demons supposed to be leaving. Well, let me refresh on that. The demon's supposed to be leaving you. They're supposed to be leaving you. Right? That's if you want to let them go. If you want to push them out. So when they leave you, those demons do what? It says they leave. They go. Right? Go ahead.
Seeking rest.
Right. But they're going to go somewhere. Those spirits are going to go somewhere. It tells you in Revelations that spirits jump like frogs. So when those demons leave you and your mind starts to be clear, if you got a rib, you got to watch. Is she on the same path? If not, those demons going to jump on her. And then she comes, and those demons are going to work through your family, through your household. So you got to know that you're protecting by you doing the job as a husband and destroying those spirits within you and your household. That's what you're doing to protect them. If you just about, oh, you know what, I'm going to get me right. But what about your wife and your kids? What about them? They need to be, you going to leave them out there? Because when those demons jump on you, off of you, they're going to go right to your family. Go ahead.
Seeking rest and finding none.
Read.
Then he said, I will return into my house from whence I came out.
So, you go through the battle of being tempted with worldly things, and that continually happens. It doesn't stop till Christ comes back. You thought, man, you know what? I got my pride. I worked on my pride, man. I went over pride scriptures. You know what I mean? Good. Then you get checked and you get corrected, right? And then what happens? That proving point is at that time. That proving time is again lust. You say, you know what? I'm done with the pornography. I'm done with the strip clubs. You know what I mean? Oh, I'm good. And at night you hear a little voice calling you. WW. Right? www dot whatever the hell the site is, and it's trying you. Satan is there trying to tempt you to do what? You know what? Right? Nobody's watching. That it's always gonna come back around. You years later, you be like, man, I beat that. Right? Godly sorrow, work of repentance unto salvation. Woo! I'm saved, right? Saved from that demon, and the next you know, come back around out of nowhere. And you be like, what the hell? What is that? I ain't even on that. You be in the middle of class. And then what? That demon hits you out of nowhere. Why? Because Satan is there to disrupt, to break you down, to make you second question and doubt yourself. And you be thinking, man, I beat that. I'm in the right mind now. Yahweh, I'm in there. I'm pleasing the Most High. But Satan's going to come in and do what? Try to stop that. And that happens to everybody. Remember, that's going to happen. Listen, it happened to Yahweh Shai. So you know when it talks to you and tells you to do it, don't beat yourself up. A lot of brothers and sisters do that. Well, but I still get the voices. I still get the thoughts. You're going to get the thoughts. But you got to resist the thoughts. Resist the devil and he shall flee from you. You know what I mean? Yeah, but when that brother, he was correcting me, man, something just told me, just knock this nigga in his mouth, son. Word. You know what I mean? Like, no, who you talking to really right now? Right? Right? But you didn't. You said, you know what? Pride goeth before destruction.
The Holy Spirit before fall.
The Most High hates a proud man, a proud poor man. And I'm broke as hell.
That's right.
So I don't know why I'm being like this. When Satan comes, you know how he's trying to tap into those temptations. You got to know your weaknesses. That's why the scriptures say, let a man examine himself whether he be in the faith. Right? So where are we at?
Matthew chapter 12 and verse 45.
Go ahead.
Did not he, and taking with himself 7 other spirits, more wicked than himself.
Right, and when these demons come, whoo, they come for you. They battle. They battle to overcome you. And this is what we're fighting daily. So why am I going about it this way, to answer your question? Because a lot of people is oblivious to the battle. And there is a battle. It's a spiritual war going on. And it's all of us going through this battle war against Satan. Go ahead.
And they enter in and dwell there.
Right? When they try to enter in, but they're coming back. Read.
And the last state of that man,
right,
is worse than the first.
That's why you can't play with Satan. You got to be humble. When you're being told, don't touch that, don't taste that, don't deal with that, you got to consider and say, well, why is brothers telling me? Why is somebody trying to pull me away from the flesh? I'll say it again. It'd be different if we was telling you sell crack, do dope, joke, go crazy, pistol whip, shoot. Then you can say, wow, these guys are insane. But we're pulling you to the gospel. We're like, leave it alone. And I'm saying that, I know it sounds so simple, but you know how much resistance we get because we're doing exactly that? Hey, that's not how we deal with brothers. We deal with brothers right in the Bible. No, y'all brothers is like, wait a minute, did I just say do crack? I'm saying let's deal with each other in the gospel. But that's how we keep getting resistance even though it's right, because they're drawn away by their lusts, their desires. You finished that?
Wow.
Give me Revelations 12. Read on.
Even so shall it be also unto this wicked generation.
Go ahead. Right, so even so it shall be to this wicked generation. Why? Because what he's telling us, listen, those demons are going to come and overtake you. Because this wicked generation loves the demons. They love it. They don't want to hear this. Restrain, let go, deny, restraint. What's the other word he uses in the Apocrypha? No. About the other word for restraint. It uses abstinence. People don't want to hear apply abstinence, be abstinent, abstaining. They don't want to hear that. So we get the battle, we get the fight. Revelations 12 and 12.
Revelations chapter 12 and verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens,
Right?
and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea.
Read.
For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath.
Right, so the devil is coming down. He's going to have great wrath. The closer and closer it gets. That's why we don't understand it. Some brothers and sisters still living in the soap opera. The world is ending. You should be doing all to stand. You got to do all to stand. Satan is gonna get more, is gonna increase more. He's gonna turn it up more. And that's what's happening now. He wants you to make the wrong move because that's when he gets the advantage. Go ahead, read.
Because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
You see that? He knows his time is short. So what does he want to do? Give me that too. Give me Corinthians advantage. It's 1 Corinthians. Let me throw that one in there. It's 1 Corinthians 2 and 11.
1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11. For what man knoweth?
Sorry, y'all. 2 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians 2 and 11. And then we're going to jump to this next point on temptation. Go ahead.
2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 11.
Lest
Satan should get an advantage of us.
Right?
For we are not ignorant of his devices.
So, that's a perfect segue into the next point. What are his devices? Right? Because we can't do a temptation class without knowing some of his devices. Now, we can go for days on that topic, but we're going to touch on a few. Matthew 10 and 37. What are some of his devices? Now, the definition of temptation was what? The one you had. I like that.
A strong urge or desire to have or do something. A desire to engage in short-term urges.
Right. Listen to that. Short-term urges, right? So what are some of Satan's devices? Because remember, if you're ignorant of his devices, you're not going to know what is coming, right? Not right? So we don't need a crystal ball. We got the Bible. It's going to tell you ahead of time what's going to happen in your life. All right? Go ahead.
Matthew 10 and verse 37.
Go ahead.
He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of it.
So how do I get this individual to fall from the worthiness of the Lord? You know what I mean? How do I get this person to fall from the worthiness of God? Because remember, the devil, he's doing everything. He's pulling out all the tricks. His time is short. So how do I get him to be unworthy? Oh, let's put his mama before me, before the father, excuse me. Right? So what happens? Your parents become more important than the truth, the gospel, the work. Right? I mean, what is it saying here? Read that again.
He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me.
So how does Satan get the advantage? What becomes more important? What?
The things that you're emotionally connected to.
There you go. He's going to tempt you with the things that you're emotionally connected to. Mama's telling you one thing, the Bible's telling you another. Right? Mama needs you to do one thing, the Bible's telling you another thing. Go ahead, read.
And he that loveth son or daughter.
Well, but my son and my daughter, they ain't God. You know what I mean? Am I going to follow the gospel or my son or my daughter? And those are the things that pull at us. So what are you going to be tempted with? How do I make this brother unworthy?
So, you know, she is my baby mama and she got custody of my kids.
Yeah.
I don't get to see my kids.
Come on, and my rib said I gotta be there. That's what he's gonna tempt you with, the things of this life. So stop playing and acting like it was gonna be demons coming after you and you're gonna be in a movie and no, it's gonna be your mama, your daddy, your carnal things, the flesh. We always want to play with it. What is it? What's really gonna pull me out? The things that you love the most. Go ahead.
More than me is not worthy of me.
Right, and that's what Satan's gonna try to get you in that mode. Read on.
And he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me.
So how do I get this individual to not be worthy of the sight and mercy and grace of the Lord? Well, I'm going to make them lazy, unfocused, right? Yeah, I told y'all the other day, would the brothers come in and say, man, I just came in just to learn. No, Christ said you're a nation of kings and priests. So no, you're not just going to sit here and just gather knowledge. Yeah, that's what Israel wants to always do. You know what I mean? Just be the knowledge person. Use scriptures to spit game. No.
Basically Bible pimp.
Yeah, Bible pimps. You know what I mean? No. You're going to use this Bible and you're going to be required to stand and do work. See? So a lot of people don't want to bear their cross. So Satan does what? Play with your mind. Oh, everybody's not a priest, Doc. No, everybody's not a priest. But there's many other offices. So nice try, but didn't work. All right? There's many other offices. You know what I mean? I'm not a good speaker. Okay, Moses, but I'll give you an Aaron. You know what I mean? It ain't going to work. And you try to what? Talk your way out of it. Like, well, but I'm busy. Oh, well, then he that saved his life shall lose it. So what do you want? That's how it works. You done open Pandora. It was better for you not to have known, the Bible says. It was better. As soon as you came in and you start knowing this, but you're accountable. You can psych out, you can do a Jonah, you can do an Adam and cover yourself with all the other things you got going on in the world. He gonna drag your ass through the mud. And he's gonna do it mostly with people around you. All the things you love the most, he's gonna use that to drag you through the mud. You said you believe, right? Go ahead.
He that findeth his life shall lose it.
So you got people that come in and they're tempted with the things of this life more than the gospel. So they want to find their life. Your life actually ended when you found the gospel. You don't know that. It ended. It's done. You are now chosen to be a priest to the nations. That's why the Most High called you, or else he wouldn't have called you. He would have left you out there and let you be in the mire a little bit longer. Right? But when he called you, he saved you from your life. Right? They talk about that in the world too. I don't really know what my calling is. You've been called. What are you still second guessing and questioning? The Most High called you and he said it. So these are some temptations that are going to come, right? Mother, father, brother, sister, house, car. Well, I got my life. I was going to be I was going to go to the moon by the age of 30, and you know what? Now y'all just throwing off my plans. Y'all, like, who is it? Who's y'all? Like, I didn't call you. You know what I mean? I call you sometimes, but I didn't call you. The Most High called you, right? It wasn't my voice. Come. Behold. No, it was the Most High. Go to Hebrews 10:38. Let's get some more temptations that overcome brothers and sisters. Now, for y'all that logged in, this is the brother's question. The new brother's question about how to overcome temptations. And the first point, we want to establish that there will be temptations. Now we're going through some of the temptations, right? Hebrews 10:38. Go ahead.
Chapter 10 and verse 38.
Go ahead.
Now the just shall live by faith.
So that's what's going to keep us continuing. That's a whole nother class. Being faithful to what you committed to. Right? Go ahead.
But if any man draw back.
So wait a minute. How do I get this individual not to be worthy? How do I get him to draw back? Draw back from what? Who knows to draw back from what? When you think drawing back, what are you drawing back from? There's not a wrong answer. What?
Drawing back from the wisdom.
The wisdom. The not stop. Who else? Drawing back. What are you drawing back from? Chaazaqya.
The knowledge,
The knowledge. He said that. What else?
understanding,
The understanding. What else? What, Michael?
I say believing.
Believing. What else? I want to see if somebody says this one word that's in my mind. To kind of hone in on this point. What are you drawing back from? Come on, there's no wrong question. Answer. Go ahead.
the Most High,
You're drawing back from the Most High. You're drawing back from the wisdom, the knowledge. What else? There's nothing wrong. What is it? What is it? What are you drawing back from?
Your flesh.
No. So this drawing back, watch, finish it. Read.
But if any man draw back, my soul shall have no pleasure in him.
Right. So what is he saying? If the just is going to live by faith and be consistent, you're drawing back from what? The wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding, right? What else? What? Growth. You're drawing back from the growth, right? What else you drawing back from? It's one word I'm looking for.
Over here,
What do they got?
you're saying the plow,
The plow, right? The actual work, right?
drawing back from the new person.
No. Right, drawing back from coming to be the new person. That's a good one.
The truth,
Right, you're drawing back from the truth. What else?
the work that comes with showing our faith.
The work that comes with showing our faith. Those are good. You know what you're drawing back from? Also, what you committed to. What you vowed to. What you signed on the dotted line and said, I commit and say amen to me being a Hebrew Israelite, learning the word of the Lord in every little detail, fine print that we're reading just tonight. You're committing that you won't love father, mother, brother, sister more than me. You won't do these things. You won't be drawn by the flesh. You won't. All the things you committed to. You understand? You draw back from saying, you know what? I don't want none of that. You committed to an idea, to a belief. So when you leave that, that's what you're going back to the world. You're going back to those ideas, and your word doesn't mean nothing with the Most High. So he doesn't want to deal with you. That's what Satan's going to tempt you with, drawing back. He's going to tempt you with second questioning and guessing your path. That's what this is all about. Why? You know what I mean? What brother hit us up with? I think I'm a heathen. So that's why you're drinking and smoking like you're crazy? Like, Israel, when y'all don't understand the commitment that comes, when this gospel enters in your head, a lot of people understand that it's not a game, and the brother's really like, I think I'm a heathen. Like, you know how many times we heard that? He thinks he's coming with something new. He think he's coming with something new, like we're going to say, you know what, yeah, you a heathen, man. You don't, the Most High ain't dealing with you. No, you know, we was like, don't play that with us, The Most High, he said his sheep hear his voice. You heard his voice. You're going through battles. You got to resist the devil. But why does he keep telling himself like that? Because it says when he is drawn away, he's drawn away of his own lust. So I got to have a reason. I got to have a reason. Oh, I ain't coming around. I ain't doing what the scriptures say, man. I ain't learning no more because, man, I think I'm a heathen. That's one. The other brothers, oh, man, y'all correct me too much. You know, I don't think, y'all don't like me. Right? The other one is, I'm busy, man. I I gotta do this, I gotta do that. You know, it's always an excuse to not commit to what you said you were gonna do. Not to us. We're all committing to the same thing. We all here on account of the Most High calling us. Right, what's that?
Or you guys are not real priests.
Yeah, whatever that means. Whatever that means. Yeah.
You're saying that for excuses. So, I mean, my most recent excuse that I've heard was that you guys are not real priests.
Oh, because we have to go to school. We have to go to school to be a priest. We gotta go get a degree from the white man.
Because you use the word ninja too much.
Oh, because we use the word nigga too much. Yeah. Because niggas act like niggas, we can't say nigga.
No, that's offensive.
Right.
That's like you saying a hoe is a hoe.
Right. When the Bible calls you whores, hoes, stiff neck, stupid.
Your righteousness is a filthy rag.
Your righteousness is a period rag.
Yeah.
Like, you want me to keep going? But once again, that's excuse. Because I don't want to be corrected. I don't want to be told. So I got to keep coming up with some excuse. That's what Satan's going to do. He's trying to get some way to draw you back. On that point, I'm glad you said that. Go to Matthew 13. So he's trying to get you to draw back. Let's go to Matthew 13th chapter. And once again, man, I know a lot of y'all got a lot of these scriptures, but for the new brothers and sisters, they need these, man. Matthew 13, and you got to go to verse 19.
God. Matthew chapter 13 and verse 19.
Go ahead.
When anyone heareth the word of the kingdom and understandeth it not.
So, how does Satan take advantage of you? How is he going to draw you away? You don't understand that you're coming to serve the Lord, and you don't understand you got to prepare your soul for temptation. A lot of people don't understand this. Read.
Then cometh the wicked one and catcheth away that which was sown in his heart.
So, the little thing that was sown in your heart, the little gospel, the little word that was sown in the heart, because this individual doesn't understand what they're dealing with, all those things can pull at you, right? All the aforementioned things. Go ahead.
This is he which received the seed by the wayside.
Go ahead.
But he that received the seed into stony places,
right?
The same is he that heareth the word, and anon with joy receiveth it.
Right. So you see these characters, right? You got the one that didn't understand, then you got the one that heard it with joy, right? You get those, the excited ones. I love them. They're overexcited. They're overzealous, right? Go ahead.
Yet hath he not root in himself.
Go ahead.
But dureth for a while.
But he's there for a while. But what pulls this brother? What temptation pulls him? Go ahead.
For when tribulation.
When what?
Tribulation.
When what?
Tribulation.
So his temptation was what?
Tribulation.
I don't have to go through it. His temptation was, I don't have to go through it. Like, I don't have to go through this. Why do I have to go through these things?
Something difficult, right?
I don't have to go through something difficult to be a follower of Christ. So they just disannul the gospel. If Christ said, prepare your soul for temptation, you know what I mean? Guess what? Nah, I'm not going to prepare my soul for temptation. Because that's not needed for me to serve Christ. Right? What else?
Or persecution.
Wait, or what?
Persecution.
Right? You get people to start persecuting you. Family, friends, work, job. Right? You get people to start disliking you. Now you're what? You're tempted back by what people think. Now you care about what they think more instead of what the Most High feels. Right? What else?
Or persecution ariseth because of the word.
Because of the what?
The word.
Read.
By and by, he is offended.
See? By and by, he's offended. You see that? The Most High puts you in a predicament like we have here. Right? You're put in a predicament to what? Be amongst brothers and sisters. But what happens when you get offended? Do you know how to deal with the offenses? Do you know how to forgive? Do you know how to let go? Do you know how to keep moving on in the spirit? And a lot of these cats don't. What you got?
So the definition for persecution, it says persecution is cruel and unfair treatment of a group or a person. So you're put in this predicament or this scenario to experience it, and you feel it to be unfair. You feel that you're not supposed to go through an experience of loss or an experience of heartache or to be treated in a highly disrespectful manner. And that's why you're going. That's why you draw back from the Most High. You're like, well, I shouldn't have to lose my car, my rib, or my kids to get close to the Most High.
Right.
Like, who are you? You know what I mean? And that's the experience. That's what draws you back. That's the cares of the world choking you out.
Go ahead, jump back to Matthews.
Matthew chapter 13 and verse 22.
He
also that receives seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word,
right,
and the care of this world.
And we touched on these things, but it's reiterating, showing you what are going to be a lot of people's temptations. The what?
The care of this world.
Right. That's going to be a lot of temptations. The care of this world. Go ahead.
And the deceitfulness of riches.
Right, because we went over that the other day. Riches are deceitful. Right? So they get caught up into what? I got to get money. Go ahead.
Choke the word. And he becometh unfruitful.
And he becometh what?
Unfruitful.
You see that? So you got to watch these temptations, because that's the point of Satan, to make you unfruitful. So you got to gauge your zeal right now, your love and your dedication. It was supposed to be going up from day one when you got the knowledge, not diminishing. Right? If you were showing up on time day one, then keep showing up on time. Keep getting better. Right? If you were studying, your studying don't supposed to diminish. Right? Now you less studying. Right? Remember how when you first came in, the Sabbath and the high holy days were important?
Oh my God, you were like the first one there?
But now is what? You're like, yeah, I'll get to that. I'll serve the Most High when I'm ready. Your zeal don't supposed to diminish. It's supposed to keep, the momentum is supposed to keep moving forward and getting stronger and stronger. That's what the Bible says. The wise will get stronger and stronger. Right? Did you finish that? Okay, go from there. Go to Romans 8:35. So all these things I'm touching on now is to show you what things that are going to be temptations pulling at you in your life. And let's be real. Aren't these things common to man? Father, mother, brother, sister, cars, house, success, our own lusts, our own desires. Those are going to be temptations that pull us, that distract you from your goal in the spirit. Right? Go ahead.
Romans chapter 8 verse 35. Who shall separate us from the love of Christ?
Right, and that's the question. What are the temptations that are going to come about? What is going to get me to start second questioning my mission and goal for Christ? Go ahead.
Shall tribulation.
There you go. And this is a big one. I know people don't understand it, but you will. You will get it when you start catching hell for righteousness. When you're trying to do what's right and you get ridiculed, talked about, right? You can give charity, you can give love, and guess what? It's not enough. You know what I mean? It's not recognized. Go ahead.
Or distress.
Or what?
Distress.
What is distress? Give me the definition of distress. I'm going to go through these real quick. Go ahead.
Distress is a state of extreme sorrow.
Yeah, right. See? A lot of people don't want to go through that distress that Christ went through and be able to be strong and conquer it. You know what I mean? Let's be real. Those are going to be the temptations because I don't want to go through that. I don't want to be distressed. I came to the truth to have all that done away with. No, you came to the truth to have the worldly things be no more. But the burden of Christ you have to take on. Go ahead.
Or persecution.
Right, or what?
Persecution.
We just went over that. Read, what else?
Or famine.
Or what?
Famine.
Wait a minute. So you could get in the predicament without not having, being less fortunate. You see that? Or famine.
It says little or no food.
Think about that. Because you know how you're used to always having. But could you be a base and still believe in Yahweh Shai? Could you not have the necessities? You ain't dying. We ain't dying. But could you break even with your bills and then think life is okay? Chaazaqya was telling me he was talking to a brother, talking to a brother in Houston. He was like, man, after I pay bills, that's it. He was like, welcome to the truth, brother. Because that's what we always do. Because our goal ain't money. Our goal ain't money. We ain't living with, an extra rollie in the pocket. If that was the case, it would be nice. But we ain't living like that. But how many people can't live like that? They got to live with about 30, 40 in the bank. You know what I mean? A good, if that, you know what I mean? I'm holding a good 10 racks, 10,000, they feel good about themselves. Shit. I wish, right? But how many people are motivated by that money and say, nah, I don't got that. I don't feel like I'm doing something. Right? Go ahead. What else?
Or famine, or nakedness.
Or nakedness. You can't get the new news no more. It can't be a closet full of the new shoes, new clothes, new this, new that. You know what I mean? Now you got to get what? The sales. I mean, we do that anyway when you got kids, right? You getting stuff on sale. Or the bootlegs. No. I'm down to buy some bootleg quick. Why? Because it's the same thing. It's the same thing. They made it in China. But how many, I know it's funny, but how many people really are affected by this mentality? Like their minds can't function without having I had the Gucci, I had this, I had that, and I come around brothers, and brothers are bare minimum. Right? Yeah, because that's not our focus. And if it does happen, it happens. But that's not the focus. What you got?
Or when they don't have, and then they see you have.
Right. Oh, yeah. Well, when they come in, and it took you 16 years to have, it took you 20 years to get.
Like, a brother looked at my car, he was like, who you guys doing? I'm like, he was like, well, that's it.
Brother been traveling around for the last 10 years in a bucket. But you just got in the camp and you see the new whip and you're like, whoa. That's why I tell brothers, I'm like, listen, don't be deceived. I had to get a brother to co-sign for me.
Thank you.
And I'm not afraid to say it. Because cats are deceived like, oh yeah, the brothers, y'all are rolling. It's like, no. You know what I mean? It's not like that. We need help. You know what I mean? All of our money goes to this, the schools. We divvy it out and make sure everybody can function. As opposed to, oh, you know what? I'm good. And then this brother's hurting. That's how we have to do it. Go ahead.
This is the definition. It says, characterized by an attitude of ready accessibility, especially about one's actions or purpose.
Oh, what's that?
Without concealment, not secretive.
What is that?
This is the psychological definition of nakedness.
Nakedness. Yeah.
So you don't have something. It's like it's mentally.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, and that affects a lot of people. People can't function. They get depressed. They get angry. Why do you think the dude killed his baby mama and his woman for their stimulus check? Like the world is going to hell in a handbasket, and you don't see that the Most High is protecting you by the spiritual strength. That's why he said wisdom and knowledge will be your stability. As opposed to them, they're psychologically breaking down. You see that? Ribs will leave you when you don't come up with the extra, you don't got the extra bread. You know what I mean? We were just talking to somebody the other day. He said, my woman left me because he was working too much.
Oh, I told you that.
Yeah. Think about that. You left because he was working too much? Like, but they don't know what they want in the world. It's like you get the one that he's working too much and he's not working enough. He can't pay child support. Now he can overpay child support, but he's not around. They're gone up here. But the stability is given to us through the wisdom and the Holy Spirit, which we want to give to them too, right? Yeah. But a lot of them refuse the knowledge. They think I'm going to have to think a whole different way. And it's hard to just change your thoughts over. There has to be a whole golly reason to submit to this gospel. Go ahead, read on.
Or peril.
Or what?
Peril.
Right. These are the temptations that a cat say, I'm not going through that. I'm not going through that. Peril. You know what I mean? Where y'all going to street speak? Oh, no, don't go in that area. Y'all going to pass out flyers where? By the way, just to let everybody know, I haven't died of COVID. We still got time, though. You know what I mean? I ain't wearing that. Like, brothers and sisters, what you scared of? Like, I haven't died of COVID yet. By the way, we had it already. Because if you get a cold, apparently you got COVID, right? So we've been sick for the last year at least once or twice. My whole family was dying then, apparently. But that's the peril. They're like, oh, you still out there? You still street speaking? You still doing this? Like, y'all not scared? Scared of what? Like, if we were going to be scared to die, the Most High could take us out many ways besides COVID. If you don't understand the Most High got the power at the end of the day, then you're lost. But a lot of brothers and sisters don't want to go through perils. They want everything easy, right? And those are the tempting things that, like, I don't have to live through these situations, right? What else?
Or sword.
Or sword. Once again, going to different countries and places that you might think it's like dangerous. Like that isn't coming into our mind. You know what I mean? What they tell us out in there in Baton Rouge. It was where were you live that, sis?
Baton Rouge.
It was Baton Rouge, right? It was like, we're gonna shoot y'all if y'all don't leave from over here. Like, fine, shoot us. But we didn't pack up all of a sudden and leave. We was like, okay, y'all gonna shoot us, do it, please, take me out. Send me to the Lord.
Exact words were, brother, grab that scripture real quick.
Right. I ain't hear none of that. What?
Well, actually, you went over there to them.
Yeah, I went over there in the middle of them, like, listen.
Talk to them.
Yeah, who's gonna shoot who? But the thing is that we're not afraid of none of that. That's not gonna stop us from doing the gospel of the Most High. Right? Just because we're getting threatened or told or lack or be without. Those are tempting things that the Most High got control over anyway. So why am I going to let that fear come in? If the Most High want me to get shot, He going to get me shot. And usually He gets you shot if you're doing something out of the Spirit. Now, if I was bad-mouthing them and cursing them out, I probably would have got shot.
That's right.
But I stood to the gospel, stood to the word. It was hard word, but it was the gospel. And I didn't get shot. I'm still here. So we got to see that these things can't separate us, and we can't question our duty to the Most High by these things that tempt us and doubts that tempt us. Because all these things will tempt you. All these doubts will tempt you and try to pull you away and draw you back from the gospel. Who shall separate us from the love of Christ? Right? Go ahead. Read.
As it is written, for thy sake we are killed all the day long.
Right, and that's, what verse are you at?
Verse 36.
Right, and read on, finish that.
We are counted as sheep for the slaughter.
You see that? So the apostles and these men knew what Christ, how he lived. We had to live that same life. He was a sheep led to the slaughter. So are we. And this is not hype, man. This is not hype. Y'all got to see that if you believe, you're accountable. We know what we do. We know how we live. You know what I mean? Our works and our actions. But you got to be accountable for that. All right, so let's go to the last point. We got 6 minutes. We got 6 minutes. Go to 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. So how do we get through it? How do we get through it? We touched on a little bit of that. But let's look at these scriptures to get a little more in depth on how to get through it. Go ahead.
1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 13.
Go ahead.
There had no temptation taken you, but such as is common to men.
Okay. Whew. So let's get this one out of the way. Stop acting like you're special. I know you hate when I say that. Can we get that one out of the way? Don't act like you come in with nothing new. Don't tell yourself and deceive yourself and say, you know what? You just don't understand what I'm going through. So really, the 30 years, plus all the other brothers and sisters and everybody else that's been through this and still fighting, nobody's been through what you've been through? Stop. Let's stop it. Read it one more time.
There had no temptation taken you, but such as is common to men.
Everything that is going to come for you is what we just read over. There's nothing special. We all grew up crack homes, one-parent homes, selling dope. I get it. You're an ex-killer, gangbanger. You know what? You put on the suit and you wanted to have aspirations. Con. But there's nothing that you ain't been through and you're not going to go through that is not common to man. This is our battle. Every one of us has to fight through this battle. So when you get in that mode and Satan tries to manipulate you, that nobody understands, your woman leaving, taking the kids, your kids don't like you, mama don't like you, you lost your job, your car broke down, you can't pay your bills on time, know that every brother has been through it.
It says, the definition for common, one word it says it's not rare.
Right. It's not rare.
It's not.
We've been through this. We battled through it. And guess what? We've made it. At the end of the road, we've made it. We conquered it. We haven't succumbed to these things. We're still breathing. Did it hurt? Yes. It hurts. When your family cut you off. When your friends cut you off. It hurts when you gotta move from state to state. A little bit. I kind of like it. But it hurts some people. It is what it is. What are you going to do for the Most High? What are you going to do for Yahweh Shai? Right? So what hurts you? What's your battle? Right? Where's the line you've drawn in the sand and say, you know what? That's the line I won't go for the Creator and for the Father of spirits. I won't cross that line for Him. Yeah, I hear what y'all saying, but I'm not crossing that. That line He's going to make your ass cross. And it kicking and screaming. He's going to drag you past, He's going to ring you past that line. Because you know what? You're going to give up everything for Him. He doesn't want it any other way. And we all have to go through it. We have to see that. Go ahead, read on.
But Yahweh is faithful.
But the Most High is faithful. He promised you. Go ahead.
Who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able.
Now, that means that the weight of the temptation in the battle on your mind, you are able to handle it. Even though you're saying, what? I can't handle this. This is too much. But guess what? He just said, God is not a God that He shall lie. He's not a man that He shall lie. So you can handle it. The problem is, do you want the tools to handle it? Huh? You got the tools. You got brothers and sisters to cheerlead you through, to help you through. We're those people in that. You're sprinting, you're running marathon, and we're on the side. Come on, you got it, brother. Come on, you got it, sister. Here, you need that cup of water? We're the water people, the refreshing, the word. And we're what? Throwing it on your face, and you're going through, but you got to keep going. You got to keep running. A lot of people don't see that. You like smacking the water. Get that shit off my face. Like, bro, we're here to give you the water. You're like, no, you're dying because you're not taking the water along the race. Take the water. You see that? You have to see this. We all have to see this. We all are going to go through it. It's all going to be a battle. But he got us. The Most High got us. Right? Go ahead.
But will with the temptation.
Right?
Also make a way to escape.
See, that's the difference between the proving and the temptation of Satan and you being drawn away with your own lust. Right? You fall into your own lust and your own desires that get you into mischief. The battle you're fighting for the Most High, he gives you the tools to get out. Right? It says a just man falls 7 times and rise back up. But the wicked fall into mischief. So that's how you can determine like what you're actually falling for. If you're doing it for wickedness, it's probably going to get you into more mischief. If you're doing it for righteousness, you're going to get up and get stronger and fight for the Most High. You see that? That's what the gospel said. That's what it said. That's what it applied to. All right? Where are we at? So go back to, what verse you at?
Verse 13.
Go ahead.
Last precept.
That
he may be able to bear it.
So you're able to bear it. And the Most High is, if you gird up your loins and you study and you put on your armor, you're able to bear it. Go ahead.
I like that scripture because he's already letting you know he's going to put you through a scenario, but it's a scenario you can win.
Right.
All you have to do is just follow the method.
Yeah.
And the problem is, hard-headed, stiff-necked Israel don't follow the method.
Right. It's like the Most High telling us he's going to give us the kingdom. He said it's yours. It's already done. But I need you to walk down through here to there to get it. Right? That's how easy it is. Even though it's an obstacle course, it's still yours though at the end of the day. Right? All you got to get back up and do is keep what? Keep going. You know that one where they splash, where they're running on it and they fall in the water?
They get hit by the
yeah, right? Well, that's how it is. It's not to kill you. You'll fall. All you got to do is get back up.
I mean, the water's not even deep.
Nah.
It's waist high.
It's not to kill you. It's to get you through it. To get you strong. But our people what? They go through the little battle, they fall, and they just give up. Right? Sometimes you got to start over. When you ought to be teachers, you need someone teach you again. You have to start all over. Be like, you know what? I was off. I was wrong. Let me start from the beginning. Relearn. And go through that battle. And listen, for the kingdom. It's for your soul. What you going to do? You going to give up? No, hell no. You got to keep fighting. You got to keep going through this. I don't understand. Y'all understand that? That this is for your soul? There's no equation or anything that should stop you. You got to keep going, man. All right, go from there. Go to 2 Corinthians 11. I'm sorry, Romans. Go back to Romans 8 and 37 down to 39. And then 2 Corinthians 11.
Romans 8 and verse 37. Nay, in all these things, we are more than conquerors through him that loves us.
You see this? So we're more than what?
Conquerors.
So we're more than conquerors. How? Through him. So if you want to make it through the temptation, you got to be ready, be armored up. Go there for me real quick. Hold that. Yeah, go to Ephesians 4:16. We're going to jump back to this Romans.
6 and 14.
We're going to jump back to this Romans 8:37 down to 39. But where are we going to?
Ephesians 6 and 13.
Read that.
Ephesians 6 and verse 13.
Go ahead.
Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of God.
So you got to put on the armor. You got to armor yourself up. Don't be naive. Now that we know the devil is on you and his job is to tempt you every step of the way, do not be naive. Do your due diligence and get armored up. Go ahead.
That ye may be able to withstand in the evil day.
And there it is. And when's the evil day? It ain't just talking about the last day. It's talking about now. All these days that lead us up. All these days that lead up. We got to stand in these evil days. Go ahead.
And having done all to stand.
We got to do what?
All to stand.
You get hit once and then you lose it. You go through a little temptation here and then you give up. We got to do all to stand. Jump back to Romans 8.
Time.
Go ahead.
Romans 8 and 38.
37 again.
Verse 37. Nay, in all these things, we are more than conquerors.
Go ahead.
Through him that loved us.
Right.
Verse 38. For I am persuaded that neither death.
See, this is how you have to get it in your thick head. Neither what?
Death.
Neither what?
Death.
What is going to separate us? Not death. Not death. You're not going to put fear in me to quit. The white man ain't going to do that. Y'all better stop teaching. Shit, you're going to have to kill me. We're going to do this work. Because it's righteous. If I'm going to be killed for doing and teaching the Bible, then it's my time.
The sons that were getting putting in the frying pan, they screamed for joy. And the mother was looking at her sons getting killed and was shouting for joy with them.
Yeah. So you got to see that what shall separate us? Go ahead.
Nor life.
Nor what?
Life.
What about all the things you can gain in this world? He took up Yahweh to the pinnacle and said, all these things I would give unto you. Con, but everything here is whack and fake, and it breaks down, and it eventually is going to get old and be destroyed. So it can't be this life. We're fighting for things that are going to actually transcend this life. So it can't just be here. Go ahead.
Nor angels.
Nor what?
Angels.
What about if an angel come to you in your sleep? No, the angel got to be speaking the gospel. I don't care how black he is. But bro, he had woolly hair. He was black. And he told me, did he tell you what the gospel said? Because what you think? What color you think the devil was in the Garden of Eden? What color you think he was in the Garden of Eden for Eve to listen to him? He came looking like them. So don't act like because an angel comes to you and he's chocolate, you gonna listen to him. He has to be speaking the gospel. That's why you got to be prepared. Read.
Nor principalities.
Nor what?
Principalities.
All these things that are set up against me to move out of the spirit and get us to move out of the way the Most High told us to move. Go ahead.
Nor powers.
Right?
Nor things present.
Right?
Nor things to come.
Yeah. All that false dreams, false hopes. Our goals, our aspirations got to be of the Most High. Because these other things, man, they're temporary. Everything else is temporary. Y'all know that, right? Yeah, it's only here for a moment. Go ahead.
Nor height. Nor depth.
Read.
Nor any other creature.
Read.
Shall be able to separate us from the love of God.
See? So these temptations, these little things here in the world, they don't supposed to separate us. The only time they will separate you is when you're drawn away and your desire for the carnal is more than what the Father said. That's the only time they will draw you away. Otherwise, they come, they go. They're going to be here. Trust me. Even if you have to give them up, the Most High give it back to you. That's how it works. You lose a rib, she don't want to serve the gospel. Guess what? He'll give you a better rib. You break your car for the gospel, for the truth, he'll give you a better car or another one. That's how it works. You lose your good job, you give it up for the gospel, guess what? You'll get a better job, one more convenient for you. That's how it works. You don't need these carnal things come and go. Right? If he gives it to the wicked, he said he reigns on the just and the unjust. He gives it to the wicked. They get it. You don't think you're going to get it? Like you panicking for no reason. Our people panic for no reason. Well, but my job. But Most High he ain't going to have you begging bread. Especially when you're trying to do for righteousness. Come. Go ahead. So you finish that. Go to one last scripture. Go to man, I wanted to jump to a few places, but we way over. Go to 2 Corinthians 11:23. Go ahead.
2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 23. Are they ministers of Christ? I speak as a fool. I am more.
Right.
In labors more abundant.
Right.
In stripes above measure. In prisons more frequent.
Right. You see, do you see the things that the apostles took confidence in? He said, if anybody wanted to glory, let us glory in these things. If you don't want these temptations to pull you out, then you got to glory in the loss. You got to glory in the battle. You got to glory in that. It can't be a sad, everything's sad and everything, this is happening. You got to glory in it for the Most High and know He's doing it for your betterment. Read.
In prisons more frequent.
In prisons. He's like, listen, if you want to glory about you being cast into prison, I was cast in prison more than you. Go ahead.
In deaths oft.
Like, how many times you got stoned, I got stoned. Right? They almost put me to death many a times. Go ahead.
Of the Jews, 5 times received I 40 stripes save one.
Right.
Thrice was I beaten with rods.
Look at that. So here's the question, and going through this, because we can go all night. Have you been beaten? Have you been stoned? Those are the things that they're glorying in. And we go in the little temptations we get, we ready to abandon ship. Imagine that. You being stoned and whooped and cast into prison for the Most High. That's why the Most High said if you can't handle the little things, He won't bless you with the greater. Because if you can't handle the little things in this life, right? What happens when He starts to bless you with the things that are greater in the kingdom? You take them for granted. What you got? No, hold that. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Once was I stoned, thrice I suffered shipwreck. A night and a day I have been in the deep.
Right.
In journeyings often, in perils of waters.
Right.
In perils of robbers.
You see all the peril? You see all the things he fell into that he didn't say, this is enough. Enough is enough, man. I'm being cast into prison. I'm being stoned. I'm being shipwrecked. I'm like, bro, I'm done with this, man. This is too much. He didn't do that. Why weren't those temptations for him? Why weren't those things for him to say enough is enough? Because that's where his heart was. That's what he believed. That's what he loved. But for a lot of us, we do what? Nah, I'm done with this. I ain't going through that. Go ahead.
In perils by my own countrymen.
Right.
In perils by the heathen.
You be like, man, come on, man. These brothers come through. They treat us like crap. We teach them, give them the gospel, do the word. We can do all these things, and guess what? They always come up with some whack-ass excuse. Yeah, it was some whack excuse for the Most High. You're like, man, I'm done with this. Nah. That ain't, bro, we ain't going through near what these apostles, prophets went through. So what is going to be your temptation? What's going to pull you out? Y'all see that? But I was going to go back to Ecclesiasticus 2. Like I said, we'd be here all night. All right, I was going to go back to Ecclesiasticus 2, but did you have any questions on that? Does that class?
That's really good.
Right. Did you have any questions on that? No. Okay. All right, sis, I know you came in. Did you have any questions on the topic or off the topic that you wanted us to touch on? No. Okay. All right. Did anybody have anything online? Yeah, I was going to go right back into that Ecclesiasticus 2 a little bit. You know what I mean? I do want to touch just a few scriptures real quick. And if y'all got to go, y'all can go. But I just want to touch on it for the brother. Go back to Ecclesiastes 2 and 3.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 2 and verse 3.
Yeah, I wanted to finish it up with this. Go ahead.
Cleave unto him.
Do what?
Cleave unto him.
See, Paul and the apostles cleaved unto the Most High. There was no excuse. It wasn't, oh, you know what? This gives me the reason to quit. He cleaved unto him. Go ahead.
And depart not away.
Go ahead.
That thou mayest be increased at thy last end.
Usually, when you battle through these temptations and these things try to overcome you, the blessing is literally right there at the end of the road if you stay the course. But a lot of brothers and sisters do not want to stay the course. They don't want to be faithful to the end. Go ahead.
Whatsoever is brought upon you,
right?
Take cheerfully.
And that's what you're seeing. Every moment doesn't have to be a moment of detriment of life. In the end of the world. It's the end of the world. No, take cheerfully. That's what we have to see, man. For the gospel's sake. I put it like this. If I ain't getting stoned and whooped and beat and resisting unto blood, I ain't did nothing yet. I don't care. All the stuff I've been through. That's the thing I got in my mind. The 30 years I've been in the truth, it don't matter. If I ain't been whooped, beat, stoned, whooped like Yahweh Shai, all the little mental agony and losing a car, losing a wife, losing kids and all that, to me, I'm like, I haven't been through nothing. Because when that start hitting the flesh, that's when it hurt.
Somebody touch your face?
Yeah. For Christ, you get beat for Yahweh Shai, you're like, automatically you want to lose it. But you weren't doing that. You never read about the apostles getting stoned and then they getting up, taking their swords out and going to go kill everybody that was throwing stones at them. So don't get it twisted like some of these monkeys you see online. If they got stoned, they literally probably would take guns out and kill everybody in the crowd. Yahweh Shai and the apostles didn't do that. They didn't do that. They took this for Yahweh Shai. But that's the mind state. What happens when we have to suffer these things for Yahweh Shai? We got to cleave. And I'm not saying we're not going to defend ourselves. What I'm saying is, you never read about the apostles taking out swords after they're stoned. The only one you read about is when Peter did it with Christ. And what did Christ tell him? Right. He said, he that live by the sword shall die by the sword. I already done told you, fall back. You see that? But when you go through it in all the peril that Paul's talking about, and the peril that the apostles went through, you don't read about them. Oh yeah, and they whooped all the people's ass that stoned them, that hung them, and that tried to kill them and chased them. They all turned around and went at them with swords. You don't read about that. They suffered. They went through it, man. Go ahead, read on.
And be patient.
Be what?
Be patient.
This is the biggest problem when you go through your battles and temptations and afflictions and trials. You're not patient to believe. to wait on the Lord. Go ahead.
When thou art changed to a lower state.
Oh my God. This is the biggest problem with blacks and Hispanics. They don't want to suffer anything.
Oh, I got this definition for patience.
Yeah.
It says able to accept or tolerate delays, problems, or suffering without becoming annoyed or anxious.
And that's where the skill is. It's always in all of us. Because, Lord, you can get annoyed. Even if you don't snap, the getting annoyed, we're past the snap, but the annoyed is what vexes a brother that's been in the truth a long time. It's controlling that in my mind to where the annoyance doesn't deter me to keep giving. Where brothers first come in is usually straight up the situation. The situation itself can deter them from their path. With us, that's been around a lot, it's the annoyance. It's like the consistent foolery. But Most High said we got to endure that. We got to fight through that. We got to love it. Read.
For though is tried in the fire,
Right.
and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
So I'll let you read on the rest of that, but the point is this. This is what you're called for. If you deny your calling, you deny all the things that the Most High has written. Because you got to go through it. Christ's been through it, you're going to go through it. You're going to be tempted just like the apostles, just like everybody else. Face it, use the tools to conquer and to get through what your battle is. You know what I mean? All right, so does anybody got any questions online? No? Okay. So y'all know the deal. We'll be back here Thursday. If y'all got any questions, save them. We'll go over them Thursday. We appreciate y'all. And everybody say shalom to them online, y'all.
Shalom!
We'll see y'all Thursday. All right. So if that's it.
Six chill, for real.
Judah. The scepter will never leave Judah. The scepter will never leave Judah. The scepter will never leave Judah. I'm Judah. Christ sprang out of Judah. King David was Judah. King Asa was Judah. Don't crowd me up, who gon' rouse me up? Alistair Crowley, your time is up. It's a big mess, I gotta clean it up. Esau, the end of my kingdom's up. On the eagle's neck, I'll press. I woke up from my rest. My rulership is up next.